Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. So this is planned to be the last video that I'm going to do on the set 4.5, the set revival. I've gotten a couple weeks out of this. I have definitely enjoyed it, but I think that I've kind of seen my fill, and I don't think that there's that much more to play. So I think I'm going to go back to the normal set 13 after this because there's a new patch coming out, and I was just waiting kind of for the next patch to come out because there's never much point in like trying to pick up Teamfight Tactics when they're like 3 days away from a patch because they always change so many things in every patch. You're just kind of like wasting your time. So we're gonna look back at set 4.5 here, the set revival. And I'd like to say I'd do like a review of this, but it's kind of, I think in a ways, pointless to do that because I've kind of covered that repeatedly in the other videos that I've done. I really enjoyed the set revival. I love set 4.5 or just set 4 in general. It's just a shame that this set wasn't better balanced. I mean, that's just like the big takeaway is it's a shame that this set wasn't better balanced because it's really not. And it hasn't been at any point in time in like the month that I've been playing it. Anyway, so for this game, what we're going to do is we're going to try to build a team composition around Kayle to some extent. But by and large, even beyond that, we're just going to be playing a very wealthy team composition. We're going to get out ahead on the econ front. And then going from there, we're just going to try to build a team of very expensive, very strong units. So this is kind of like the disgustingly wealthy version of playing Teamfight Tactics here in the set revival. Okay, so a couple things I wanted to mention. First and foremost, when we started this game, you may have noticed the borders in this game on the other players. I think there's 3 diamond players and a masters player in this game, and I've been seeing that a lot in the games that I've been playing. Like the early versions of the set, the game wasn't that hard when I first started, but like whatever the matchmaking is, it pretty quickly put me up against players that are pretty darn good. So it's been a lot harder playing a lot of these games. Okay, we have our first augment. I'll get back to that point in a second. First augment here. I don't really see anything that jumps out. I was like, I don't know. Nothing here looks that good. I see raining gold. Get 8 gold now and 1 gold every round. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to try to play towards Kayle in this game. So I just need a lot of money because it's like a late game board. So I just need a lot of money to play into that. I've gotten a lot of very, very strong early game pieces here as well that are going to allow me to hopefully win streak through the early game. So first and foremost, I had an Akali drop on the first minion round. By the way, I have a 1 item start here. Yeah, a 1 item start. So that means I have a very, very heavy gold start. And then on top of that, I took the augment that gives me another 8 gold. So I'm able to level 4 and be at 16 gold, which is very, very wealthy here. But I think that I actually have quite a bit of board strength as well. As I said, I had an Akali drop on the initial round. And then I think I had a Teemo drop from that minion round as well. So as soon as you get... and then I was also able to find 3 Dianas. So that allowed me to put Spirit trait in play immediately. And if you've been following any of the videos I've done here on the set revival, you might know that Spirit is just the trait that's really, really broken, and it's been broken the entire time. There's some other traits that are like in a strong position, so like you can play Assassins, they're pretty strong. Enlightened's pretty good in this patch version. Sharpshooter's been pretty strong too, but it's like the one common feature of every single version that we've been playing thus far is that Spirit is overtuned, and like really, really overtuned. As a quick refresher for Spirit, Spirit is, there's 4 units, and when you put them on the board, when they cast for the first time, they give attack speed to the entire team. Spirit 2 is 18% for the whole team. Spirit 4 is 30% for the whole team. And they are all cheap units. 1 cost Diana, 2 cost Teemo, and then 3 cost Yuumi and 3 cost Kindred. So 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, 3 cost. If you put all 4 of them on their board and they all get their cast off, which is not that hard to do because they all have pretty low mana costs, then your whole team gets 120% attack speed, and it's just such an insane bonus to get that. Almost every single viable comp, it plays through Spirit in some way. Almost every single one does. So I've done Spirit Sharpshooters. That's been really overtuned for like the entirety of the set. Spirit Sharpshooters. Spirit Assassins is also quite popular. I did a Spirit Zed game, and so now I'm trying to do Spirit Kayle. Just like all these variations off of Spirit. And the reason why that is just if you're not playing one of these meta comps, you just get absolutely annihilated but from the people that are, because it's just so overtuned. It makes it really, really difficult to play the game. Now, what you haven't seen, if you've watched these videos on YouTube, is I have tried to play some other non-meta comps, and mostly it hasn't gone very well. Like, I have tried, I think on 3 or 4 different occasions to play mages. Mages are just so bad in this set. They are just not playable at all, unless they do drastic patch changes. They're just not playable. I actually played this when it was on PBE right before it released, and I think I had 9 Elderwood, 5 mages, and I got like a 4th place. I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. How am I doing so poorly with 9 Elderwood, 5 mages? And the answer is that mages are just terrible. Like, you just can't play them. They're so bad. And like Warlord is almost completely unplayable. Vertical Dragon Soul, almost completely unplayable. Slayers, no good. I tried to do a Fortune game off stream. I was able to hit 3-star Katarina and 3-star Darius. Didn't matter. I just got wiped out by Spirit Assassins. So you just can't play hardly anything. And this also feeds back into the fact that I mentioned, hey, remember how I saw those Masters borders and all those Diamond borders in the Masters player? Because I did really well, or I have been doing well in this set, I'm up against players who are pretty good, and there are definitely people that will just sit here and spam the same overpowered comps over and over and over and over again. So I'm up against people who are pretty darn good at this game, and they're spamming the meta comps, and just like the result is I kind of have to play one too, or else I just get run over. So like I would have liked to have shown more traits in different videos, but it's just almost impossible to play anything that's not one of these. It's like it's like Enlightened and the Fabled comp that plays through Nico. They're like the only ones that don't play through Spirit. You can do an Enlightened Talon Morg game, and like you can play the Nico stall count comp with Fable, and like those work, but that's about it. Almost everything else plays Spirit. It's just kind of disappointing, and it's a good example of why bad balance, even in a game mode like this that's supposed to be for fun, if you don't balance the game, it actually does get ruined pretty quickly. All right, so in addition to that, other stuff that happened, again, I was actually able to pre-level to level 5 and still be at the 30 gold breakpoint on the previous round. That's exceptionally rare. I don't often pre-level anymore. It was more common back in some of the earlier sets. You'd actually want to pre-level to get better shot odds, but I was actually able to pre-level and still get to the 30 gold threshold. And then this round, I was able to get to the 40 gold threshold. Still on full win streak, still winning. I've had insanely good luck at hitting so far. I hit the 2-star Diana, I hit the 2-star Teemo. I was able to toss Janna on the board, who does not make any traits, but is such a good utility unit that I find myself playing her in almost every game anyway. And I still have not lost a round. I have also been playing through this Garen. I was able to get a Vanguard Garen chosen, and that's plenty good enough for the early game. I'll have to decide when to swap out of that later on. But I legitimately thought I could just run this until probably level 8, and then on level 8, maybe I can try to find a Kayle chosen or something like that. I am going to grab some Divine units, because if I'm going to play into Kayle, I'm going to want to run at least some tier of Divine. You can see me highlighting the trait description, but I'll talk more about that if I actually get Divine trait in. And then the other thing is, this encounter is one that just gives us like random amounts of loot throughout the game. And so I was able to get, everybody got an artifact ammo on the beginning of stage 2, and I was able to take Anima Visage and slap that on Garen, which is just a very good early game tank item. It's not as good in the late game. It gives a lot of health, and so it gives some armor and magic resistance, and then it also has stacking health regen, which is good for the early game. It's not as good for the late game. So I thought I was actually going to win this round pretty easily, but then Janna gets taken out. Oh, Diana's so low, but she manages to take out Katarina. I was like, oh my goodness, that was so close, Diana and Katarina. Diana is still on 5% HP, but the Braum is hitting Garen, which is a slap fight that neither one can win. So Diana should get her cast off, and there we go. It's like, oh, woo! I am really glad I won that round, because that lets me carry my full win streak up into the minion stage, and that is worth a tremendous amount of econ for my board. So yeah, look at this. I am 60 gold level 5, about to be level 650 gold. This is an absolutely insane amount of money. Again, it's due to 3 different things. One is I had the one item start, so I got a lot of gold, very little in the way of items. I only got 1 item component, but I got all that gold at the start. Then I took an econ augment that gave me another 8 gold immediately, plus 1 gold per round, and that accelerated me further. And then I was also able to full win streak the entire stage, which put me on gave me even more econ. and kept me on, as I said, full win streak. By the way, there's another player in the lobby, Midnight Sky, it looks like their name is, who is also on full win streak. So I am definitely keeping an eye on that player because they are also very, very wealthy too. But I definitely want to try to make sure that I can keep this win streak going. So I'm going to go ahead and make a Quicksilver Sash. I actually had the components for another half of a Quicksilver Sash there, but I don't feel bad about making Quicksilver Sashes. It's such an important item. And look, we get another item anvil here. So we can pull something in. As soon as I see this, it's 100% Zeke's Herald out of these item choices. I did think a little bit about Banshee's Veil because that provides crowd control immunity, but I've already made a Quicksilver Sash, so I don't think that I want Banshee's Veil on top of that. So I'm going to take the Zeke's because what does Kayle want? Attack speed. And my whole team is being built around this attack speed. We'll go ahead and toss Yuumi on the board. That makes 3 spirits, so now we need to find Kindred. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this Quicksilver Sash. And the Zeke's, well, I'm going to get the Zeke's on the board. We'll put it on a Kayle for right now. And then I went the Quicksilver Sash on Diana because she's kind of my carry. The other item I made is a Warmogs, and that's because Warmogs has great synergy with the Anima Visage. The Anima Visage, I think you regenerate about, it's like 3% of your health every second or every other second. I'm not going to look up the official stats right now. But it regenerates a percentage of your max HP every few seconds. So Warmogs gives you more max HP, and you regenerate a larger percentage of that. Just very, very strong in the early game. Again, it falls off a little bit as the game goes on, but I'm hoping this will let me win streak through the early game. All right, second augments silver, and look what we have here. Late game specialist. When you reach level 9, gain 33 gold. I was like, all right, you know what? I think I am strong enough to do this. We're just going to go to fast level 9 this game. I'm hitting really, really hard. I'm win streaking here. I'm 52 gold, through level 6, halfway to level 7 here. Right at, stage 3, 2. I can definitely fast level 9 in this game. So I usually do not take late game specialist. You can only take this from like a very greedy spot, but I am in a very greedy spot. By the way, this other player, Midnight Sky, they've already found a Kayle. Yeah, they have an augment that gives additional benefits to divine units, and they've already found a Kayle, even though they're only level 6. So I'm like, oh man, they're definitely also playing into Kayle. And if this were a version of Teamfight Tactics where we were competing for the same units, that would be concerning because I would now know they're going to take Kayles out of the pool. But again, here in the set revival, everybody has their own champion pool, so it doesn't really matter if they take Kayles out of the pool. It doesn't affect my ability to hit Kayle as well. So okay, but on the other hand, I can't deny them Kayles by finding Kayles of my own. Another reason why these builds like Spirit are so problematic is, there's no limit to how many Spirit units. Everybody can play Spirit if they want to. Everybody can 3-star, like I said earlier, everyone can 3-star Sivir because they're playing their own personal version of the game. All right. And so I was going to put in a Sharpshooter next, but then I see I was going to put in a random Tristana next, but then I can just upgrade to Sivir because I do want to get Sharpshooter trait in for Teemo just so we can do a little extra damage. And Sivir will, of course, give an AD bonus to the units near her when she ults. Now I'm doing mostly magic damage at this point in time, but that's still not bad. And I've been positioning to try to have my assassins jump on the Kayle on Midnight Sky's board every single round, even though I have not actually hit that player yet. I think I've dodged them at 1/3 odds, something like 4 or 5 rounds in a row. And once again, I do not hit them again, so yeah. But like we're stacking up so much attack speed here, it's going to be really nice because Kayle is heavily attack speed focused. And in a way, the entire set revival is very attack speed focused. It's like Spirit is kind of warping the whole set revival. This trait is so strong, stuff that's not attack speed focused just is not viable. Again, Mages being a primary example of that. Mages want to play through Elderwood trait, which is a slow ramping trait, and there's too much attack speed in the set. They don't have time to ramp up with Elderwood, which is part of the reason why they're kind of useless right now. But like all the stuff that's good is stuff that can use attack speed. So like I said, Spirit Sharpshooters obviously loves attack speed. Spirit Zed obviously loves attack speed. And like the only thing that can like deal with that, as I said, is like the Nico stall comp because it just gets insane amounts of armor and magic resistance. Okay, I am last pick here. I'm not seeing a ton that I want that badly, but I wouldn't mind making an Edge of Night on Kayle because again, I'm going to get tons of attack speed. I don't really need that much attack speed for her. Just want to make a Rage Blade. And so I would like to make Rage Blade, Quicksilver Sash, and then an Edge of Night. And then I see this. I was like, okay, number 1, Yuumi 2-star. There's Kindred for 4 Spirit, and oh my god, the 1% Samira. I was like, Okay, yeah, you know what? We're gonna play Samira. This is too good not to play. We're definitely gonna play the Samira here. And I was like, why don't I just move some of these items that were on the Diana? I just move these items over to Samira. Because you know what? Quicksilver Sash, it's good on Kayle, but you know what? It's good on Samira as well. I mean, it's like, is there anyone that Quicksilver Sash is not good on? I'm not sure that there is. And then I will take the Jano off the board so I can get Force Spirit in. Now, again, normally you'd be like, why are you taking a 2-star Jano off the board that gives Mystic Trait, which is super valuable, just to put in a 1-star Kindred when you don't even need more damage? Well, the answer is Force Spirit is completely broken. 120 attack speed for my whole team. And Samira just effortlessly shreds the enemy board. So, again, we're on a 9-match winning streak. We're still winning here. I still have not hit that player Midnight Sky yet. But I'm level 7, 47 gold here on stage 3-5. So I was like, okay. And I'm on a 9-match win streak. And I will get 33 more gold as soon as I hit level 9. So let's go. All right, now there's one more round here until we hit the minion stage. I'm on 60 gold. It's 44 to level. And I'm like, all right, you know what? I want to keep my win streak going. Let's just level and put Jano on the board. This will also let me get level 8 shops. So now I have much better chances to see like Kayle in just my random shops, plus other 4 and 5 cost units. So I was like, you know what? Let's do this. I think it's worthwhile to sacrifice some econ. If this allows me to win a round, it's totally worthwhile. And again, I'm still positioning for this player, Midnight Sky. They have not lost a round yet. I want to deny them the chance to win streak. Turns out I once again do not hit them. Somehow we've gone 10 rounds in a row and I have not hit this player yet. So, okay, I guess I just hit this cultist player instead. Okay, come on, can Samira get her ult off? Good ult from Samira. She hits pretty much the whole team, and it looks like I am going to keep my win streak alive. Very, very nice. And that's going to get me to 17 gold. And then do I sell these? I think I sell these divine units to get to 20. Yeah. So what I realized was if I'm going to be playing Force Spirit, which I want to do, and if I'm going to be playing Samira, which is very worthwhile to do, I mean, she makes Sharpshooter trait with Teemo and all that. And by the way, and then there's 2-star Kindred. What is going on in this game? If I'm gonna play Samira, and if I'm gonna play all the Spirit units, and then if I'm gonna start slotting in 4 and 5 costs, then I'm not gonna play that deeply into Divine trait. I think I can get to 4 Divine. That would be playing Kayle plus Jax plus Aurelia plus Lee Sin. So I think I can play those 4 units, and I might also find a Divine Kayle for her Chosen benefit, because I'm trying to find a Kayle Chosen. I wouldn't mind either one, Divine or Executioner, for her trait bonus. Yeah, so I just don't think I'm ever going to get up to 6 Divine. And then, oh my god, I get another Samira here? Are you kidding me? I was like, okay, so you know what? We're just going to swap over to Talon. I think he's better than Akali here. Like, why not? All right, and then I have the chance to go ahead and make Rage Blade. So I want to put this on Kayle. I'll just put it on Samira for now. It's not a great Samira item, but I'll put it on her for now. And then I'm looking at these different items here, and I was like, Prowler's Claw, AD, crit chance, after killing a target, shed negative, oh, I missed the full description there. Shed negative targets and dash to the next one. So this should be a really good item on Samira because it has AD and it has crit chance. And then we'll go ahead and do another Quicksilver Sash. And then I can also look to do an Infinity Edge on Samira, which is going to synergize really well. Again, this is another one of those just like disgusting high loot lobbies. So we're just playing into that. We're just accepting the fact that this is a crazy high loot lobby. And we're just going from there. We're going to continue rushing to level 9. We still haven't even had our last augment yet. I'm level 8, 41 gold on 4-1. We still haven't even had our last augment. This is absurd. And I decide there's no point in trying to go for Yuumi 3-star or Kindred 3-star because I'm going to be rushing level 9 too fast for that. It's just not going to happen. All right, now look at our last augment here. Piercing Lotus would be quite good, but I also have the chance to get a Spirit Emblem, and I was like, ooh, that's going to let me cut the Diana, who I do not even care about on this board. So I can just remove Diana and just play better units. Remember, there's no 5-cost assassin in this game, so there's not really like an assassin I want to play into in the late game. So this is just going to free up a slot, basically, for me to play another better unit than Diana, who is really good for the early game, but again, is not going to be great for the late game. All right, I'm going to move that Prowler's Claw over to Samira. That means someone else has to take the Rage Blade. I'm going to put it on Talon. Now, I don't really have another unit to play just yet, so I was like, okay, Jax, you can just go on the board. Because I'm definitely going to play Jax if I'm going to play Kayle. That seems like it's, excuse me, a very valuable substitution to make. And then, all right, I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting full value from my Zeeks, all these units that want attack speed. So again, we're going to have just such insane attack speed here. 4 Spirit plus the Zeeks plus like a Rage Blade. Kayle will scale up, will ramp up so quickly. Another awesome Samira ult. She hits almost the whole team. Oh, but it looks like we didn't quite manage to kill the enemy team. And this person's Kayle. Guess who it is? It's my nemesis, Midnight Sky, who, just barely beats me. But they actually did lose a round earlier in the game, too. So they are not on full win streak either. They did lose a round earlier. So I was like, that's a little bit disappointing. But remember, that person has already used up the benefit of their silver augment. Their silver augment was they got 11 free rerolls at lower levels, whereas I'm about to get the value of my silver augment as soon as I hit level 9. And like, I could buy a Talon here, but like, there's no point. I'm just going to sell Talon the minute I find Kayle. He's not even doing anything anymore because I lost Assassin trait, but I don't really have anyone else I'd rather put in at the moment. Because like trying to swap over to like Tryndamere or something is no better. So I'm just playing Talon for right now, even though I don't have Assassin trait in and he's not very good, to say the least. And once again, I'm like, do I go for Kindred 3-star? I was like, I don't think this is going to happen. I can sell the Teemo, though, if I want to get back to 50 gold, which I definitely should just to hit that income breakpoint. All right, Samira, you're kind of carrying me right now. Good Samira ult, hit most of the team, boom. So the fact that I hit this early Samira has just allowed me to play so greedy on my board, just like so greedy. I would not have been able to play quite this greedy otherwise. I think I would have had to roll on level 8 otherwise, or move out of the Garen Chosen. I was like, I still have the Garen Chosen. I can definitely do way better than that. But like, why roll for a Chosen on level 8? I can just roll for one on level 9 here. And I might even have the chance to get a 5-cost Chosen. It's only 2% odds to see a 5-cost Chosen on level 9, but I mean, I might. Still, I really am looking for a Kayle Chosen here. All right, time for an item. I'm actually, I win the tiebreaker with Midnight Sky, so I actually do get 3rd pick here, and I'm like, I know I'm going to play Lee Sin. Let's just go ahead and take another tier. We'll make a blue buff for Lee. Until I find Lee Sin, I can play it on Kindred, and it's a good Kindred item, too. So I'm pretty content with that. And I'm going to have an item that's going to be really good if I get Lee Sin and can use him to kick people off the board. Okay, so do I want to go level 9 here? Let's see. I think that I do because I'm going to get a ton of gold. All right, there we go. Now I have to sell the Garen. Oh, apparently I misclick on the Garen. I thought that I sold him. Didn't you see that? It sure looked like I sold him, but apparently I didn't. So we'll put the Yone on the board. It took me a minute to realize that I had not actually sold the Garen. Even though I grabbed him and dragged him, I'm actually not seeing Chosen in the shop here. So I was like, wait. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to try to put this Aatrox on the board for one round, but I don't actually make it in time. So I actually wasted a shop or two there, which was kind of annoying, where I did not actually get the Chosen in there. So, oof. That's a bit disappointing. And for some reason, I still have this team on the board. But anyway, I'm transitioning my board. I didn't quite manage to make it there, and I unfortunately wasted like 2 or 3 shops where I did not get to see a Chosen. So I'm in the process of transitioning here. But I still have 40 gold to roll with here on level 9. Yeah, 98% odds for 4-cost Chosen, 2% odds for 5-cost. So I really should be able to see Kayle. That a Mystic Shen would be pretty nice. I would like to play Shen, but no, I really do want to find the Kayle Chosen if I can. No, Vanguard Sedge, no. All right, Slayer Tryndamere. All right, there's another Yone. I mean, I'll pick that up. I'm definitely going to play into a depth trade here. There's another Kayle. Okay, there's a Shen. We do want to move into Shen. I was like, wait a minute, what's wrong here? Something's off about my board. I actually have 2 Samiras on the board. I was trying to figure out what the heck is missing, and I was like, wait. Oh, 2 Samiras. Okay. Let's at least get a depth trait on the board. So we're playing some pretty good units, and I have a lot of valuable pairs here as well. So in addition to the 4 Spirit, I have the 3 Mystic in. I have a Yone on the board. I have a Yone pair. I have the Samira. I have Samira pair. I have a Kayle pair. I have a Shen on the board. So like, I'm just trying to move into like really good 4 and 5 cost units. And that's going to be it for that person's game. Yeah, they were trying to play Slayers. You can't play Slayers. Sorry, it's just not a viable trait. You just can't play it, unfortunately. And I'm still rolling it down, or actually no, I guess I wait until after the minion round. I forgot we have a minion round here. So I'll continue rolling. I've actually seen quite a few 4-cost Chosens not to have seen Kayle yet. So that's a little bit disappointing. If I do find a Kayle Chosen though, I'm already at 2 Kayles, so if I find one more, I could theoretically be at, if I find a Kayle Chosen, I could theoretically be at 5 Kayles, which would not be bad. Oh, and Kayle's ability, I should cover that while we have a second here. She is Divine and Executioner trait. Very simple ability, Divine Ascension, costs 60 mana. When she casts, she ascends and causes attacks to launch waves that deal bonus magic damage. She can only cast once in a fight. By the way, we get a Swain and a Ornn, but I'm not going to play either of them. They're just unit 5 costs I can't really play. There's a set. That is a possibility. How many 4 costs am I going to see until I find a Kayle here? Other than, oh, Lee Sin Chosen. I was like, I think I gotta play that. I think I have to play this unit. I'm already on Kayle pair, so I only need to find one more Kayle for Kayle 2-star. I was like, okay, I will take this. Now, it's a little bit unfortunate that the doubled trait is duelist here. I really wanted the doubled trait to be divine, but it's not bad. Now, in this fight, Lee does absolutely nothing because he's trying to kick a Jax as a Quicksilver Sash. So I was a little bit unlucky in the positioning there, and this fight's not going especially well, although it is reasonably close given that I wasn't able to do anything about that Jax. So yeah, I mean, I just felt like I wanted to play the 5-cost Chosen. Lee is a champion I would have put on my board, and going instantly to a 2-star Lee is pretty valuable. All right, there's the 2-star Kayle anyway. Now I really want to get this what's it called, Zeke's Herald off of Kayle because it's just an aura item, so he doesn't need to hold it. So all right, we'll go ahead, move the Quicksilver Sash back over to Kayle. There we go. And now I definitely can try to do something with these items. I thought about making a Thief's Glove here, and I don't think that would have been bad, but I was curious what I could turn the bow into, if there was anything useful that I could do with a bow. So I think I waited and decided to see if I could reforge the bow, just in case there was an item that would be better than making a Thief's Glove. All right, so I go ahead and reforge it, and Cloak. Okay. Well, that actually lets me make a Quicksilver Sash, and I actually think I'd prefer the Quicksilver Sash to having a Thief's Glove. By the way, I finally beat that player Midnight Sky for the first time. And now that I've hit this, I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'm 50 gold level 9. My board seems stable. Let's just go level 10. And on level 10, I want to try to play Irelia. And Irelia will be my last unit in on the board. All right, so yeah, we'll just make a Quicksilver Sash for Lee. That seems pretty good. And then, yeah, we're just going to go level 10 here. And I'll put Irelia in. And then I can take the Janna out, and I can play a better unit than Janna, and that'll be our board. Yeah, we'll play the Irelia, and then that'll get us 4 Divine and 4... what is it? That's going to get us 4 Divine and another rank of Adept. Of course, I have to still have to find an Irelia to do that. I have not been seeing Irelia in this game. And hopefully on level 10, I can just finish 2-starring the rest of my board, because I still have 1-star Shen. I still have a 1-star Yone. Oh, Yone's not on the board right now. That's right. I wanted to take out the Janna and then put Yone and Irelia on the board. By the way, in this fight, Kayle dies pretty quickly. But it looks like Samira got off a good ult, and now it's Jax against the utility squad. Janna, Yuumi, Kindred. Can Jax kill all of these things? Well, Jax is basically a tank. So with Yuumi healing, it looks like no, he's not able to. Oh, that was a funny way to have the round end. I had Kindred, who is a damage dealer, and then 2 utility units, and he just couldn't quite kill the utility units. Okay, time for another carousel here, and there's not a ton that I want here. I actually want another item for Kayle, because I have a 3rd slot available for Kayle. Unfortunately, nothing here is really a great Kayle item. I mean, maybe I could take the Static Shiv, but I don't actually do that much magic damage. Kayle's kind of the only unit that deals magic damage. I decided I'd just take the Death Cap instead and just put that on Kayle. So that Death Cap is not an especially good item on Kayle. By the way, we find another Samira here. And then I'll just play the Zilean over the Janna. I like you, Janna, but I'm going to take the Zilean over you. And I have to put the Spirit Emblem on somebody here. So I was like, all right, who has low mana cost? Jax, you can take this. Now, Jax's mana cost is actually fairly high. I believe it's like 100 or 110, but I think he starts at like 60 out of 110. So in terms of getting his Spirit cast off, he effectively has 50 mana. So he'll get that off pretty quickly. And frontline units generate mana pretty quickly because as they get hit, they generate mana. So he should be able to get the Spirit cast off pretty quickly. And he also should not die in these fights. He should definitely get his Spirit cast off before he dies. By the way, once again, Lee Sin kicking a unit that has a Quicksilver Sash. So Lee has not been terribly effective in these fights thus far. But once I finally can stop like fiddling with my bench, I'll be able to position better. And we're gonna knock out that player. So like Samira did 13,000 damage that round, and that's one of the nice things about my board is I really do have multiple threats in terms of the comp that I'm playing. I have the Kayle as a threat, I have the Samira as a threat, and then I'm trying to develop Lee Sin as a threat as well. So I have like 3 major carries and then just a ridiculous amount of utility on my board as well. We'll wait to go level 10 until after the minion round. So back to the item on Kayle. The Death Cap, really not a good item on Kayle, but it will cause the magic damage. Oh, I guess I went to level 10 here. I should have waited another round. It was silly to go to level 10 here right before the minion stage. There was no real reason to do that. Oh, I think it was because I was trying to deal damage to this other player. Now that we have 4 players in the lobby, we know who we're going to be up against in every single round, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to reposition Lee so he's not kicking that Jax with the Quicksilver Sash, because that's just a waste of time. All right, so I'm hoping I can win this round. I did lose to this player last time. I think that's why. It's because I lost to this player last time. And because they're a duelist board, getting Adept trait in play actually hurts their board quite a bit. All right, they actually had a duelist Kayle, but we're going to be able to win that round. And yeah, we're looking pretty strong here. So yeah, I think I just about have my board. There's another Lee, by the way. I really should pick up this Lee, by the way. I might as well. Now that I'm level 10, I don't have to level anymore. But I might as well just grab copies. I mean, that would get me to 4 Lees. I don't think I'm going to hit 3-star Lee, but you never know. I could get a duplicator or something, and then I'd only have to find a couple more. Anyway, though, my board, again, 4 Spirit, 3 Mystic. I'm a little awkward here. The 3 Divine, 3 Duelist. Like, that's a little annoying. I really would like to get up to 4 Divine, but I have to find Aurelia for that. I'm definitely not going to play like a Nasus or something like that. By the way, Lee just kicks the kicks the enemy unit off the board. Hilarious. All right, let's see what we can find here. So we're going to get even more stuff. Oh, we apparently just got 3 Zillions. I was like, okay. Again, I really should pick up these Lees. There we go. All right, 2-star Shen. That's nice. I should probably just hold Lee and Samira and see if I can 3-star either of them. There's another Kayle. Okay, there's another Zillion. I already have 2-star Zillion. I don't need that. All right, there's another Lee. Okay, I am on 5 Lees at this point. That seems good. Now, we should also see what's in this emblem. And, okay, there is a Hand of Justice. That sounds pretty good. Go ahead and put that on Lee. And then just look to reposition. So I'm just looking for, I guess, another Yone would be nice. And I still haven't found Aurelia. All right, so for this round, we're going to apparently kick the Cho'Gath off the board. This person actually has a 3-star Xayah. That's a 3-star 4-cost over there. But is Xayah any good? No. Yeah, that board was trying to play through Elderwood, I think, and Elderwood's just not good. So we just annihilate them. And yes, we easily beat a 3-star 4-cost board. So yeah, that's a thing that happened. All right, I'm up to 6 Lees at this point. Okay. Might as well hold that. I mean, again, if I can get a duplicator, I only have to find 2 more. And you do have really good odds to see the 5 cost here on level 10. You have 25% odds for the 5 cost. You have 40% odds for the 4 cost. So if I had hit a Kayle Chosen, I legit would have had good odds to hit Kayle 3-star. But because I did not hit a Kayle Chosen, I'm not remotely close. But I'm pretty happy with my board. And honestly, at this point, I'm not even sure if I would swap out like Zillion for Aurelia. As much as I'd like to get 4 Divine, I don't think that a 1-star Aurelia is better than a 2-star Zillion. As always, one of the key things you always have to remember in TFT is the goal of the game is not to make the prettiest trait matrix. The goal is to build strong boards. And I think having a 2-star Zillion is better than having 4 Divine in. All right, so that was a ghost round. I didn't do damage to either player. But yeah, I think I've pretty much maxed out my board here. I'm not really close to hitting anything else except, yeah, I mean, maybe if I'd been grabbing Kayles the whole game, but I think I would have needed a Kayle Chosen to realistically get close to Kayle 3-star. All right, I'm going to be up against Midnight Sky, my nemesis. He's on 6 Divine. Board is not bad, but I actually don't like the Kayle items he has that much. Quicksilver Sash is great, but I don't really like Red Buff that much, and I don't like Giant Slayer that much either. Now, granted, I have a Death Cap on Kayle, which is also pretty bad. But I don't love those Kayle items, I have to say. Now, they did just hit 2-star Lee Sin, and they also have a blue buff and a Hull Crusher on Lee. So that unit looks pretty strong. I really wish my Lee were not kicking a Nasus off the board. But the good news is my Kayle is focusing their Lee. Lee goes down. Samira got off another awesome ultimate, and that's going to be enough to beat this player. Samira, I think, did the most damage, and then my Ghost knocks out the other player. So yeah, there we go. A pretty smooth game. I was just so disgustingly wealthy this game, and I was hitting so hard. I just hit every single Spirit unit effortlessly, and Spirit units are the ones that are broken here in the set revival. So the fact that I had all those units just allowed me to go first level 9 super fast, and then level 10, and then just play a bunch of legendary units. And the game was pretty easy from that point. So, like I said, I think that this is it for the set revival. I think I've seen everything there is to see. Again, I really like set 4. I wish the balance had been better. Little disappointing that it wasn't, but I think I got my my money's worth considering I didn't pay anything. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, take care, folks, and I'll see you again soon.